Hello friends. Are you ready to learn about something really amazing called the chaos theory? It might sound complicated, but I promise to explain it to you in a way that's easy to understand and maybe even a little bit fun. The chaos theory is all about how tiny things can have a big impact. It's like when you build a tower with blocks. One little block can make the whole thing tumble down. This theory says that even though the world seems pretty predictable, there are some things that are just too hard to predict. Like when your little brother is going to throw a tantrum or when your dog is going to bark at the mailman. The chaos theory is sometimes called the butterfly effect, because it says that a butterfly flapping its wings in one place could eventually cause a big storm somewhere else. Even really smart grown-ups who study things like math and science can't always predict what's going to happen because of the chaos theory. It's like trying to guess what's in a present without shaking it first. But even though things can be really complicated, there are still patterns that we can look for. It's like finding your way through a maze, but instead of walls, you're looking for patterns in how things work. Sometimes, things might seem really random and chaotic, but there's actually a hidden order to them. It's like trying to follow a dance where everyone is moving around in different ways, but there's still a beat that ties it all together. The chaos theory teaches us that even though things can be unpredictable, there are still rules that govern how things work. It's like playing a game. Even though there might be surprises, there are still rules to follow. Here are some examples of the chaos theory that you might find interesting. Even though scientists use all kinds of fancy equipment to try and predict the weather, sometimes it can still be really hard to get it right. That's because the chaos theory says that even small changes in the air pressure, humidity, or temperature can have a big impact on what the weather will be like. Have you ever watched a game where it seemed like one team was going to win, but then something totally unexpected happened? That's because sports are full of unpredictable moments, where a small mistake or a lucky break can completely change the outcome of the game. Have you ever been stuck in traffic and wondered why it's moving so slowly, even though there don't seem to be any accidents or road closures? That's because the chaos theory says that even small changes in how cars are moving, like someone changing lanes or slowing down to take a turn, can create a chain reaction that slows down traffic for miles. Even though plants might seem like they grow in a straight line, they actually follow a kind of random pattern that's governed by the chaos theory. This is why plants can grow in all kinds of different shapes and sizes, even if they're the same species and grown in the same conditions. Even though music might seem like it follows a strict pattern of notes and rhythms, sometimes musicians will intentionally add in unexpected chords or changes to keep things interesting. This is kind of like the chaos theory in action, where a small change can have a big impact on how the song sounds. It's like a big universal rule that affects everything. The chaos theory is kind of like a magic trick, because it shows us that even small things can have a big impact. It's like being a superhero who can change the world with just a little action. The chaos theory also helps us understand that things can change really quickly, even if they seem like they're staying the same. It's like a caterpillar turning into a butterfly. It happens fast, but there's still a process to it. Sometimes, the chaos theory can be a bit scary because it shows us that we don't have complete control over everything. But it's also really exciting because it means that there are always new things to discover and explore. Even though the chaos theory is a big complicated idea, you don't have to be a grown-up to understand it. In fact, sometimes kids can understand things better than adults because they're not stuck in old ways of thinking. The chaos theory teaches us to be curious and open-minded because there's always something new to learn. In conclusion, the chaos theory is all about how small things can have a big impact, and how even though the world seems really predictable, there are still some things that can't be predicted. It's a fascinating idea that helps us understand how the world works. Maybe one day you'll be a chaos superhero who saves the day by understanding the hidden order behind seemingly chaotic events. And if you ever feel overwhelmed or confused, just remember that even the most brilliant minds in the world can't always predict everything. Sometimes, we just have to go with the flow and see where life takes us. Are you excited to learn more about the chaos theory and all the amazing ways it affects our world? Maybe we can even try some fun experiments to see it in action, like dropping different sizes of balls to see how they bounce, or blowing bubbles to see how they move in the wind. The possibilities are endless when it comes to exploring the mysteries of the chaos theory. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like, Subscribe buttons and the notification bell so you can join the Simplify squad.